This is major breaking news. We just had a massive cyber attack that has been disclosed by CISA, the Cyber Security and Infrastructure Security Agency of the United States. All right, they just disclosed that we are under a major cyber attack right now, and this is new. This is for over 30,000 different companies worldwide. Over 30,000 different companies worldwide are being exploited and are in danger of being taken over right now. All right, they have access to the source code and they have signing certificates, which means that they can manipulate any type of data. This is a worldwide cyber attack, and potentially at least 200 million people are at risk right now. Potentially 200 million people are at risk right now from this cyber attack, and their data and their bank accounts could be at risk right now. Specifically, 200 million people's bank accounts could be at risk because this cyber attack involves Citibank and Citigroup, which has around 200 million customers worldwide and tens of millions in the US alone. All right, so this is major. This is a major cyber attack, and you need to be keeping a close eye on your bank accounts. And this is going all the way to the top. All right, this is going to Citibank. This is going to Ferrari, Nike. All the top companies in the world right now are being hit by this. Over 30,000 companies all use this same program that is being exploited right now and is undergoing a major cyber attack, and a major backdoor has been opened to these 30,000 different companies. All right, this is very serious and very dangerous. And we also have the UK as well. One of their top national security agencies as well just issued a warning that they could have a major cyber attack that could shut down the country at, quote, any moment. Right? That's what the government of UK is also warning of right now, and it could be related to this new exploit that was just revealed by CISA, and they're saying that this is massive and they're not even sure exactly what to do. They're just disclosing it, that it's happening right now, because all these different companies, over 30,000 worldwide, have their data and their source codes tied up into this company that has been exploited. All right, so this is very dangerous. This is on the level of Amazon Cloud Services undergoing a major hack, all right, which is the backbone of the internet for many of these different websites and many different providers. All right, is these main servers getting hacked is a very dangerous threat, and we are that close to this happening. We are that close. And like I said before, when these attacks happen, it opens the door for more attacks. Now that these 30,000 companies have been exploited potentially, think of all the data they now have to get into other companies. All right, think of all the data that's going to be there to potentially get to the main servers and the mainframe of the critical infrastructure. All right, all this stuff is at risk right now, and we just got this emergency warning from CISA today, December 13th. They just issued this warning. All right, so let's dive into this here, and let's also dive into this company that is being exploited right now, and all the other companies that run their websites and their critical infrastructure on it. All right, Citibank, one of the largest banks in the world, Citigroup, runs their platform and their banking system and their online banking off of this platform that has been exploited. All right, so if you have Citibank, it is potentially in major danger right now. Some other companies that are also being exploited right now: Nike, Ubisoft, Ferrari, Wargaming, Gradle, HP, Oculus. Okay, all these different companies are also open members of this exploit that has been hit. All right, so what is going on right now is that there is this program that all these different companies use to insert live updates into their apps and into their websites. Okay, it's called JetBrain's TeamCity. Okay, TeamCity that's the simplest way I can try to explain it to you guys, is that it allows apps and websites to be updated in live time, so they don't have to take the website down or shut it down or reboot the website, reboot the app to install a live update. They can keep it going. And this TeamCity runs all the tests on it because they don't want to inject code into the app or the site that could cause bugs and problems. All right, so this program runs tests on their code, and it has access to everyone's source code. Okay, they have to run their entire source code every time they have an update through this company called JetBrain's TeamCity. Sorry about that. TeamCity is the program, JetBrains is the company. All right, and you can see here in this warning that CISA just issued that this program is being heavily exploited right now, and it's used by Citibank, all these different we don't even know how many different companies use this, but these are the main ones that have been disclosed. So you can see here, this is coming out of CISA. This was just issued today, December 13th. It says Russian Foreign Intelligence Services exploiting JetBrains TeamCity CVE globally. All right, this is global. This is very dangerous. Very dangerous for this to be exploited. It goes on to say that software developers use TeamCity software to manage and automate software compilation, building, testing, and releasing. If compromised, access to a TeamCity server would provide malicious actors with access to software developers' source code, signing certificates, and the ability to subvert software compilation and deployment processes. And it says access a malicious actor could further use to conduct supply chain operations. And it said this is a similar hack how they got into SolarWinds. The SolarWinds hack a few years ago, they used a updating software just like this to get in the back door because it has the source code of over 30,000 different websites and businesses, and this is coming from their own website and their own numbers coming from JetBrains. All right, so this is very serious, and they're saying that it could further use, they could use this access to disrupt supply chain operations as well. Because think about it, if they are able to access the internal code at Citibank, which is one of their main providers, okay, I showed you this official thing from their website of all the different companies that operate through them that we know of, they could potentially get into everything, right? They could get into anyone's bank account. This is like having administrative access to your bank, all right? You know, they can just go in, they can change things, manipulate things, all right? That's like having that access, but it's open. It's open to bad actors and potentially foreign state actors. They're saying this is coming from Russia, and this could also be coming from deep state actors as well, all right, that are masking where it's coming from, that are creating this web, this fog of war, because we're saying we're getting attacks from Russia, Iran, China. All these different countries do have very powerful cyber capabilities and want to attack the US, and they could be activating their forces right now, and there also could be other bad state actors exploiting this moment and making it even worse. It's just a possibility that I like to put out there because the narrative is not always as solid as we like it to be. All right, we want it to be solid, and this is just a possibility. I'm not saying this is happening, but it's a possibility that this is happening. All right, because the narrative is fluid here. We don't exactly know what's going on, and there's been so many different cyber attacks just the past week or two. There's been hits on the water supply. Multiple different hospital chains have been shutting down their emergency rooms and haven't been able to access their patient records. All right, this has been happening in Texas, New Mexico, all over the place. Hospitals have been shutting down their emergency rooms. Okay, this is exactly what would happen before a big attack. All right, there would be shutdowns of the hospitals, right? Because when there's a big attack, they won't be able to respond. They won't be able to deal with the influx of people that are undergoing injuries, right? All these things are up for grabs right now. We had 60 different, dozens and dozens of different, it was over 60 different credit unions and banks that underwent a cyber attack and had to take their services offline just a few weeks ago as well. All right, I reported on this just last week. These cyber attacks are increasing in frequency. There's been cyber attacks on local city governments constantly as well. I believe Long Beach, California just had an emergency situation there last month because they were locked out of all their systems. I think they just got it back up, where you couldn't pay your electric bill, you couldn't pay your trash bill, you couldn't contact the government, and they couldn't access any of their records and process any permits or anything like that, right? All these things were stalled up. There was a major cyber attack on the automated clearinghouse, which controls the direct deposits. All right, it clears the direct deposits moving from one account to the other. If you remember that last month, there were delays. I remembered on 11/3, it was showing on my banking app. It was saying that there is delays for 11/3 for deposits on it, and it was on there for weeks. All right. Also, there was a major cyber attack on Financial Title, one of the largest title companies in the country, and it's holding up real estate closing sales. If you are using them for your title company, they are not able to close your property right now, and it's delaying tons of closings and ruining people's lives right now. People are moved out, people are ready to go. I'm in a similar situation right now. Thank God our title company is all right. It wasn't financial, but I was worried. I had to double check when I read this news. I was like, hold on, do we have financial title? Who's doing this? Because this stuff is hitting people's lives directly. People can't move. People can't sell their homes. People can't start their jobs. This is already affecting the economy, the supply chain, everything. It's just in the background. Last month, or about 2 months ago, I'm just trying to remember all these off the top of my head. Hit it up down there if you remember me reporting on these, or if you've never heard of these before. Hit it up for me down there, because that's my job here, is to connect all these dots. A couple months ago, wholesale food suppliers, the largest independent food supplier, and I've made videos on all these topics, that's why I remember them all. The largest independent food supplier in the country underwent a cyber attack, and they couldn't process any of their delivery orders in Oklahoma and Texas. All right, it was really bad in Nebraska. It was really bad in Oklahoma, and there were truck drivers that could not drop off their shipments of vegetables, wholesale food, and they also could not pick up new shipments to do deliveries. And all these independent grocery stores in the area did not have food for weeks, right? Because they couldn't get new deliveries in because it was locked up. This stuff's happening. These attacks and these missteps are already slowing us down. They're already causing massive losses in the economy and affecting people directly. All right, there's been all these identity theft attacks as well for all these different state DMVs. I reported on Louisiana DMV. There were tens of millions of people that had their identity leaked from this, all their information. All right, and this is the first step to implementing this digital ID system, because once everybody's information becomes compromised, they're going to say, look, the only way to have a safe, secure system again is to lock it all down and to have this digital ID that only you have access to, so no one else can steal your identity. All right, they're going to present this as the solution. We have to have a cryptocurrency so we can track and trace and make sure nobody is committing these cyber attacks and getting on the internet when they're not allowed to be. All right, they're going to say access to the internet is too dangerous. They can get into these back doors, and they're going to say we need to have internet IDs and clamp down on it. All right, all this stuff's coming, and also AI is being unleashed at the same time, where these cyber attacks are becoming even more dangerous. Even more dangerous these cyber attacks are becoming, because they can create new codes and put it on top of our systems that we can't even decipher or read. All right, they can also help with duplication methods, where with DDoS attacks, with overwhelming. It helps with authentication processes, all that stuff. AI helps with that as well, to overwhelm websites. All right. And then thinking long term, it can create its own languages and its own code. It can write entire languages that we can't even decipher. Okay. Computer algorithms and programs are all written in a few different code languages. Okay. There's not that many of them. But if the AI can create its own language, its own code, and lock us out of our own systems with these ransomware attacks, these cyber attacks, then we could be in a situation where we can't even decipher the language that the AI has written the ransom in, right? We could be in very dangerous situations very soon, and top experts have warned of all this stuff. This isn't obscure. This stuff's real, and it's happening soon. All right, so make sure you're getting yourself ready. Make sure you're getting your family prepared, stocked up. Get a ton of rice, right? Tons and tons of rice. That's going to be your best friend. Ton of seeds. Get fertilizer. Get copper, lead. You know what I'm talking about. Gold, silver. All these things are going to be incredibly valuable in the future, and you need to have stockpiles of them, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you are getting prepared. I hope you are getting ready, all right, because winter's coming, especially if you're up north. They might try to do this in the middle of the winter to cause maximum damage, all right? So make sure you're getting ready. I hope you have big blessings for your family and your life, and I hope you have a big old blessed day.